Hey everyone, thanks for tuning into the Lucid Sight Collective podcast, where we discuss all things lucid dreaming and consciousness. So this episode will be discussing some tips, tricks, and things that you can implement into your daily life that will help your dream recall. Because if you can't remember your regular dreams, then odds are you're not remembering your lucid dreams. So developing a strong and healthy dream recollection is actually one of the first building blocks to a strong lucid dreaming practice. And when talking strictly about the dream recall part of this practice, it might seem a little bit boring because it's work. And yeah, there are definitely more interesting things to talk about in the dream world. But if you're not frequently remembering your dreams, like I said, the odds are you're not going to remember the dream that you have, like when you do have that lucid dream. And if you're working towards this point, it's kind of useless to be practicing like reality checks and trying to lucid dream when you're not even remembering the regular dreams you're having in the first place. Because when you think about it, the real point of lucid dreaming, or the reason why it appeals to so many people, is because you can take that knowledge from the dream world and bring it into the real world and use it to learn about yourself, or just remember this crazy experience that you had. But if you can't remember it, then you can't use it to your benefit in any way. So when you strip things down, dream recall is really the first thing that you should be focusing on when you're trying to train yourself how to lucid dream. Or if you just want to have more frequent lucid dreams in general, if you already know how to lucid dream and like it's happened to you, but you just want it to happen more often, dream recall is a huge thing to work on. Because who knows, it very well could be that you yourself have lucid dreams all the time and you just don't know it because you're not remembering them when they're happening. When you wake up, that memory is completely gone. And this is a common thing that happens to me, and at least. I have a lot of lucid dreams that I completely forget, and then down the road I'll remember them again and be like, oh shit, like I forgot that even happened. Like I didn't remember that when I woke up, and it's just coming to me now, like based off of some sort of trigger that happened in my brain. But it makes me think like, wow, there's probably a lot of other lucid dreams that I'm just not even remembering whatsoever, that either happen like in the middle of the night or happen when I'm not remembering my dreams as often as I normally would. So this is the thing to do to train yourself to lucid dream, because if you're not remembering them, you're not going to be having them, or at least you won't know that you're having them. But even if you are one of those people who have literally never ever been able to remember a single dream before in their life, don't worry, you still have dreams and you can still train yourself to remember them. It's not too late. It just takes a little bit of time and work and gentle rewiring of the brain. And that's what we're going to discuss today. Some of these tricks are fairly well known and others are a little bit lesser known. But with that being said, this episode is pretty fully comprehensive. I might end up splitting it into a two-parter because it is kind of a lot of information, but it's great for the beginner or the advanced dreamer. So this is pretty much all levels. It will just help you. Just a general disclaimer to start off with: if you are one of those people who think that you just don't dream at all, or you think that maybe you just don't dream that often, you do. I am here to tell you that you do dream. Everyone dreams every single night. And right now the research is saying that we dream about 3 to 6 times a night, but I personally think that it's probably way more. And scientists believe that dreaming is one of the ways that our brain regulates itself and keeps us healthy. So, unless you suffer from certain conditions that create dream loss due to brain damage in specific areas of the brain, then you do have an internal dream world with dream themes and characters, and you just haven't yet unlocked the ability to access any of this information through your waking mind or your conscious mind. And this is something that anyone can learn to do. So, if you are interested in uncovering parts of your subconscious and you want to know what you're dreaming about every night, then stick around. You're in the right place. Just to start off with a little bit of helpful research, this little piece of information definitely helped me understand why I was remembering my dreams more sometimes and then other times not, just due to like how I was waking up in the morning and like around what times and like with an alarm versus not with an alarm, etc. So we know now that dream recall in itself it's not always, but it is heavily associated with fragmented REM sleep. So if you were to wake up in the middle of having a dream, odds are you have a way better chance of remembering what you were just dreaming about, as opposed to if you had gone through that REM sleep cycle and woke up a few hours after you had that dream. You're probably not going to remember it, or it's going to be a little more fuzzy. But this is why most people who remember their dreams are having more of their dreams that they're remembering in the morning as opposed to like in the beginning or the middle of the night. Unless they were to wake up like at random times in the middle of the night, then they might be more likely to remember a dream from the night. But most people are remembering their dreams from the morning, especially because you're waking up for like a few minutes at a time or like 30 seconds at a time and then slipping back into that dream. And this is also why some people only remember the nightmares that they have, because the nightmare is causing them to wake up from their sleep. And even if they don't fully wake up, the adrenaline spikes in your body due to the nightmare that you're having will cause your body to slightly wake up, even if it's not like consciously waking you up. It can be enough to be able to recall that dream. Okay, so to start off with a little bit of research that really helped me to understand why sometimes it seemed natural to remember my dreams and other times it didn't at all. And it has to do with how and when you're waking up in regards to your sleep cycle. We know now that dream recall in itself is not always, but is heavily associated with fragmented REM sleep. So if you were to wake up in the middle of having a dream, the odds are you have a way better chance of remembering what you were just dreaming of, as opposed to if you had exited that REM sleep cycle and woke up like a few hours after you had that dream. This is why most people who do remember their dreams are remembering more of their dreams that they're having in the morning as opposed to in the beginning or the middle of the night, unless they were to randomly wake up around these times in the night, because in the morning, especially if you're not using an alarm, you're waking up for like 30 seconds to a minute and then going back to sleep or slipping back into that dream. This is why some people also only remember their nightmares that they have, because the nightmares are causing them to wake up from their sleep. And even if you don't fully wake up, the adrenaline spikes in your body due to the nightmare will then cause you to slightly wake up. Even if it's not on a conscious level, it can still be enough for you to be able to recall it. And this is a piece of information that I always try to share with people, because there are those people out there that do believe that literally all that they dream is terrifying. And it kind of gives them this belief that like everything like hidden within them is like dark or evil, or like their whole subconscious is just filled with like wild shit. And I tell them that like this isn't true. It's just that the only information that you're able to remember is the traumatic and freaky shit, because the regular dreams that you're having, you're just sleeping through them, and you don't remember them when you wake up because you don't have a good dream recall. But, anyone can do with this information what they will. Like, not everyone is going to want to build up their dream recall. Like, that's not important to a lot of people. But it is just good knowledge to have, to know, like, oh, okay, like, I'm not crazy. Like, this is a normal thing that happens, and I'm not alone. So I always tell people that, like, if you only have nightmares, it's not out of the ordinary, and there's a reason that that's happening. And it's not because that you're like ultra traumatized, or I mean, it could be, but like, I don't know. I wouldn't jump to conclusions if you're like only having nightmares, or don't get down on yourself. Like, it's not your fault. And most importantly, there's nothing wrong with you. So, in order to have good dream recall, you have to have your mind and your body right. So, for the first part of this, I'm going to talk about a few ways you can train your body so that you can naturally start to remember your dreams more and more. And then I'll go on to talk about things that you can do to like get your mind in the right space to remember dreams. So, one of the first things that you can do to start training yourself to remember your dreams, or at least kind of get yourself on the road to better dream recall, is actually getting your sleep schedule consistent and your circadian rhythm right. So, as much as you can, make the effort to go to sleep around the same time and wake up around the same time. And to the best of your abilities, rise with the sun and wind down when it sets. And obviously, you don't have to be perfect with this, but the more consistent that you are, the easier dream recall will become. And it's just because you have a healthier foundation. And sleep schedule also goes hand in hand with dream recall. Like, if you're not sleeping well, you're not going to be dreaming as much, and you're not going to be remembering your dreams as much. So just getting this sleep schedule right is one of the first things that you can do to get yourself on the road to remembering your dreams. And your circadian rhythm actually affects a lot of things. So getting it on track will do a lot more good than just helping you with your dream recall. And when I first heard this, I was like, immediately no, because I'm just a big night owl. Like, I always stay up way too late and I sleep in way too long, and I'm never consistent. Like, as long as I don't have to work in the morning, I just won't wake up. So yeah, at first I was like, I am not going to do this. Like, I guess I'm just not going to dream or remember my dreams. But this isn't a deal breaker at all. Like, if you go to bed late, just try going to bed late every night consistently, and don't wake up at drastically different times each morning. And you don't have to be perfect. Like, obviously, none of us are perfect, and everyone still dreams. So just try to keep your attention on it. And like, the more that you think about it, and if it crosses your mind from time to time throughout the week, it will eventually become easier to keep a more consistent sleep schedule. Me, I'm still working on this, but I do get in the rhythm like every once in a while, and I'll stay up way too late one night and kind of ruin my sleep schedule again, but I am getting better about it through time. And, like I said, you don't have to be perfect, but you can work on it throughout your life and get better. So no pressure on that. But also, with that being said, your circadian rhythm doesn't just have to do with the time you wake up. It also has to do with the light you're being exposed to. So, on top of that, an additional layer to be mindful of is the amount of light that you're exposing yourself to when you wake up and when you go to bed. So, when waking up in the morning, it's important to expose yourself to natural sunlight. By seeing daylight in the morning, like when the sunlight hits your eye within about an hour of waking, it triggers something in your body and it resets your circadian clock. and your body will slowly start to it will it will start to slow down the process of making melatonin in your body, which this is the sleep inducing hormone. So when you wake up and your eyes see the sunlight, this triggers your body to know, like, oh, okay, it's morning, it's daylight, it's daytime, so I have to wake up. And then same thing at night, when that light goes away, it lets your body know, okay, it's nighttime, I need to start getting ready for bed, and it starts making the melatonin, which then makes you sleepy. And since melatonin slows down when we're exposed to light and starts being made when we are stopping the exposure of light, this means that it's equally important to not expose yourself to artificial or blue light after the sun goes down and before bed. Most people know this now, and it's kind of become general knowledge that too much blue light or too much light from screens can affect our sleep cycle. So, blue light is anything that comes off of technology or like any type of artificial light, or if you guys have like a happy light or like a happy lamp. I don't know if they still make those, but yeah, any light coming off of like a screen, TV, computer, phone, some like LED lights are blue light, maybe all, I don't know. But the lights in your house, I don't think that they have blue light in them. Not all light is blue light, I don't think. I don't know. I might be spreading misinformation. Don't even really listen to this part, but anyways. The reason that blue light affects us and affects our melatonin production is actually because sunlight and blue light are kind of the same. Obviously, blue light isn't sunlight, but our biggest source of blue light actually comes from the sun. So, blue light isn't necessarily a bad thing as long as you're mindful of when you're exposing yourself to it. And there are also like blue light blocking glasses that you can get too, if you don't want to sacrifice your screen at night. You can get blue light glasses or blue light blocking glasses. Just make sure that they actually block blue light, because I know that there's a lot of companies selling blue blocking glasses that do not block blue light. But there's definitely credible places out there. So yeah, that's what I recommend, I guess, if you're trying to find something to help with that. But right when you wake up, go outside or look out your window, whatever you got to do within the first hour of waking up, because this triggers your body that, okay, it's morning time, blah, blah, blah. Let's stop making melatonin. Let's get awake and energized. And then at night, when you're not seeing that light, you start to get sleepy, your body starts making more melatonin, and this helps with your sleep cycle, obviously. And just having your circadian rhythm right, it will improve your whole life, but also definitely dreams and dream recall for sure. This next trick we're going to talk about helped me immensely with my dream recall. Like, once I got it down, it literally transformed my dream recall and in itself. Like, yeah, where I was before remembering dreams and where I was after is completely changed. I remember things way more in detail, and I think that I won't remember anything, and then I really dig into it and things resurface for me, and I've been able to remember some amazing things with this technique. And basically, when you boil it down, this technique is practically, I mean, I'll go into detail about it in a little bit, but basically, it's when you wake up, do not do anything. Do not move. Do not open your eyes. Lay there and wait. and keep waiting. Even if you don't think that there's anything there and you can't remember anything that you've dreamt of, just lay there and wait and see what comes up. Because think about it. Usually, the first thing that most people do when they wake up is shoot straight out of bed, go to the bathroom, brush their teeth, or turn over and pick up their phone and check their messages or social media. They don't even stop and sit to think about, hey, what was I just dreaming? And we immediately go to work, we jump into an activity, we do the act of the whatever, we we make breakfast, we have sex, we do whatever. And this instantly takes our minds off of where we just were, what we were just doing in our dreams. And it trains your brain to just throw that information away. It's garbage. You don't want it. You don't need it. And we'll talk about this a little bit more later when I start moving into things that you can do to get your mind right to remember your dreams. And this is a big thing. Your brain doesn't know that this information is important to you if you just never try to remember your dreams. That's like not something that's going on in your mind. So when you wake up, the first thing you do is try to remember that dream. And this isn't like a 15-second thing. Like, sit there for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. Just wait. And try, like, don't just sit there with a blank mind. Like, try to do some excavating. Think of, like, let your mind guide you to where you were, I guess. But the big thing here, this is the part of the technique, like the technique that we're talking about. It's not just waking up and like laying in bed and trying to remember your dream. The biggest part is to not open your eyes. And this may be hard because obviously when most people wake up, they instantly open their eyes. But you can train yourself to do this because you do wake up before your eyes open. It's just like kind of a reflex that you've developed because the first thing that you do when you wake up, you want to open your eyes and get out of bed. So that's just what you've conditioned yourself to do, but you can train yourself to keep your eyes closed. So once you're able to do that, this technique can really work for you. And I'll explain why. The reason why this actually works is because when you open your eyes in the morning, it instantly floods your brain with new information to process. New images, colors, bright light, whatever is going on in your room, anything, even your bed frame or the wall in front of you. It's like an instant reset button when you open your eyes. It wipes everything because it signals to your brain that all the subconscious processing that happened overnight is okay to just shove under the rug because it's daytime now and we're not dreaming anymore. It can be completely deleted altogether, and that's what your brain normally does. So once you wake up, even though it's hard to do, just keep your eyes closed because it will make it so much easier to remember the dream when you don't have all of this other information flooding your mind. And yes, when you wake up that you're in your room and what your room looks like, but something happens and something is triggered when you open your eyes. The brain is just like too overwhelmed to, I don't know, something can happen in that instant and it can be the difference of remembering the dream or having it be completely lost. And I've had this so many times where I will wake up and know that I had just been dreaming and like it seems like I would be able to remember it so easily upon waking up because like I was just in that dream. And in that transition period of me going from sleep to slightly awake, I have this awareness that, oh, I was just dreaming and I remember what I was dreaming about. This is going to be so cool. I'm going to wake up and I'm going to have the memory of this dream and it's going to be awesome. And then literally right when I shift over into like being awake and I open my eyes, everything is just gone. Like it completely wipes the slate and I cannot remember what I was just dreaming about. And I'm like, fuck, what was it? Like I try so hard to remember, but it's gone. And like, yes, sometimes you do remember dreams if you wake up and you open your eyes and like even if you just go about your daily business, like sometimes it's inevitable. Like you will remember that dream. But other times, most of the time, you won't remember a dream. So this can be the difference of being able to recall it and not. So just start trying to train yourself to keep your eyes closed when you wake up. I still don't do it all the time, but if I'm on it, like if it's on my mind constantly throughout the week and I'm telling myself, like talking myself through it before I go to bed, every night, you can train your mind to do this. It's not rocket science, but it does take effort and it does take work and it does have to be on your mind. Like you can't just say, "Oh, I'm going to do this," and then never think about it again and expect you to get it because really the only way to train your mind to do it is to just think about it and to tell yourself that you're going to do it. And when you don't do it in the morning, try again the next morning and the next morning and the next morning. I mean, life is long. If you just keep things on your mind, eventually they will happen and it will fall into place. Like, I don't know if I said this earlier or on another take, but with the whole sleep cycle thing and getting your circadian rhythm right, it can seem hard for some people, like in certain times of their life, but if you just keep it on your mind, eventually it will happen for you and it will feel easier to put that into action. So, like I always say, give yourself grace and give yourself time and don't force anything, but keep it on your mind. And when it's right, it will happen. This philosophy it's good in general, but especially when talking about dreams, because you really can't force this and you can't fake it. You either have the dreams and remember them or you don't. Like, I am now known for like dreams in my friend group because I've always been interested in it and obviously now I have a podcast and my friends know that. So I'm just known as the dreamer in the friend group or whatever. And some of my friends that are really into it will literally ask me like every night or every morning, like, "Oh, like, what did you dream about?" And sometimes I get in my head about it because, like, I go through periods where I don't remember any dreams that I'm having for a long time, like weeks at a time. And it's frustrating because I'm like, damn, what am I dreaming about? Like, what's going on up there? I don't know. But we're human. Like, you can't, some people do remember like 10 dreams every night without fail, and they never go through lull periods, but that's not how I experience things. Maybe 20 years down the road, things will change for me, but I have always gone through ups and downs in my dream recall. And also just fluctuations in everything, like about my dreams, like what I dream about, if they're profound or not, if they're interesting, if they're weird, if they're funny, if they're super vivid or not vivid at all. Everything fluctuates for me at least. So I wouldn't get too in your head about anything. Like if you can't remember a dream, just keep trying. It will happen for you. And if you don't believe that you can remember a dream, then you probably won't. Like you have to have some form of belief in yourself that you can do this because you can. Everyone can do it. So keep the faith and keep going because Sometimes it can be frustrating, but we can all do it. We can all get there. And please reach out to me if you have any questions or frustrations or whatever, or tips or tricks, please. I'm all ears. But yeah, I'd love to like help support you or whatever. Or just like hear about your journey. I don't know. I'm interested in you guys. Please reach out to me. I want to hear from you. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're almost wrapping it up for this episode, but I'm going to talk about a few more like small things that can affect your dream recall that have to do with your body, and then we'll cut this episode off and we're going to do a part 2 for sure. Okay, now that we've got the bulk of it out of the way, we're gonna talk about some things that can affect dreaming in general and definitely dream recall for sure. One of those things being marijuana, cannabis, weed, pot, anything you want to call it. Yes, I don't know why I'm so energized right now. I'm just gonna go with it though. Yeah, weed can have a big effect on dream recall. Now, some people say if you smoke too much weed, it can affect your dream recall. Other people say if you smoke weed, don't smoke any weed, then smoke weed again, then you can have crazy dreams and you'll remember them super vividly. Other people say that, I don't know, I can go on and on, but there's a bunch of different combinations, and it seems like everyone is different and everyone experiences weed influencing dreams in a different way. But it definitely does affect dreams, whether that be to enhance them or to dull them or completely stop your memory of even having them. So that's a big one. Definitely for me, I notice if I smoke too much or not enough, then I won't remember my dreams. But I don't know. I smoke a lot of weed and I remember my dreams. So I don't know what the scientists have to say about that. But yeah, I dream all the time, but I smoke every day, so I don't know. It might just be because my body's adjusted to the amount that I intake and it doesn't really affect me as much anymore. I'm not sure, but all I know is that cannabis definitely does have an effect on dreaming, which sucks because it helps you sleep. But some people who love to dream will just take like tolerance breaks on cannabis or weed, and then they'll start again and they'll stop having dreams. But for me, when I do take a tolerance break, it's usually when I start smoking again that I have the craziest fucking dreams I've ever had. So I don't know, everyone experiences it differently, but yeah, I just thought that I'd throw that out there because we are talking about dream recall and that can definitely affect it. Another thing that can for sure affect it that I had no idea about, and I don't know if it's common knowledge, but it's definitely true, and I haven't really heard anyone talking about it, but if you have a period or like a menstrual cycle, however you say it, this definitely affects your dream recall. And I cannot say this enough. We are on a 28-day cycle, so throughout those 28 days, our body is in a very different place at those different times. For guys, they're on like a 24-hour cycle, so they don't experience this. But girls or people who have periods, they literally are at different places in different times. So if you're not remembering your dreams for like big chunks out of the month, this is probably just due to your hormones. It's not any fault to you. Like, it's not because you're doing anything wrong or, um, like, I don't know, not practicing enough or whatever. It's just because that's your body and it's just doing what it does. So, this definitely makes sense to me because I'm always going through phases of seemingly naturally remembering my dreams, and then other times I try so hard to remember them and literally nothing comes for like weeks and weeks at a time. um yeah, I haven't really like tracked my cycle yet and figured out when I'm remembering the most dreams or having the most vivid dreams, but it's definitely a factor. So I thought I'd throw that out there for all my girls out there, 'cause yeah, it's interesting and literally no one talks about it. It's wild. But yeah, with that being said, there are other medicinal herbs that can help enhance your memory. Just any like memory enhancer will help you remember your dreams because it's dealing with that part of your brain that deals with memory. Also, any herbs that will help enhance your dreams will also kind of work hand in hand with recall, since if they're more vivid, it's a little easier to remember them. But yeah, I don't know. I think that's pretty much it that we've covered. I think we've covered everything that I can think of, at least, of what you can do to get like your body in tip-top shape to be remembering your dreams. And I'm pretty sure I just decided that I'm going to make this a two-part episode because it's already like 30 minutes long and I feel like the rest of it is longer. And I don't want to bore you guys with this stuff because it's kind of boring. So I'm just going to end it here and we'll pick it back up in a little bit, talking about like things that you can do to get your mind right, to help you with your dream recall. So thanks for coming along this journey with me, and I will talk to you guys later. Also, I feel like I should mention that I've been gone for like a month and a half. But like I always say, when I do take these breaks, I will be back. I'm not ending the podcast anytime soon. I just have a very busy life and a lot of things that I do on the side. I also just recently transferred to a new job and I was traveling, so yeah, I couldn't be doing episodes, but I will always come back to the podcasting. I just do it on the side when I have a topic that I want to talk about and extra time in my day. So, like I said before, the podcast isn't ending anytime soon. I'll always come back, so don't worry if I take like a long break in between episodes. Yeah, there will be new ones in the future. It's just that I'm busy. So, I apologize for the break, but I'm back now, and yeah, thanks for sticking around. I appreciate you. And I also just want to take some time to thank everyone for listening. Even though I don't necessarily make any money from this, I do gain something from it. The community is great, and I love hearing from you guys and hearing your stories and your ideas and your theories. It's kind of the best part for me. So if you want to share something, please do. Also, if you have any questions, please reach out, or whatever, anything. I'm here for you. And as always, you can find me at Lucid Site Podcast on Instagram or lucid.site.co. Either of these accounts work, even though the Lucid Site Podcast account is strictly podcast business. The other account is just like a general art account for my business. And but either of those work if you're wanting to reach out. I really, really encourage it. Whatever you want to say, I'm all ears. It doesn't have to be a story, even though dream stories are definitely encouraged because I want to do a listener's episode. I almost have enough to do a full episode on. So yeah, definitely reach out if you're feeling called to. And thank you so much again for listening, and I will talk to you later.